everyone, my name is Amber, welcome back to my channel. This is my February new releases video. I do these videos every month and I like to talk about my most anticipated releases that are coming up. So if you want more of these, feel free to subscribe, that would be really great. I have 14 books to talk about here today, so I should probably get started. Although before I do, I want to mention that there's a massive storm happening in the UK right now, and if you can hear it, I'm really sorry. There's not really anything I can do to stop it. We're just gonna have to put up with it. The first book that I'm really excited for is The Sundown Motel. This one is a suspense thriller, I think. It's partly set in the 1970s and partly in the present day. Back in the 1970s, I think girls are going missing, and so in the present day, the main character wants to go to the motel and investigate. I think that's the kind of gist I'm getting from the synopsis. I'm really hyped to read this one, so I'm probably going to try to fit it in March after I've done my 29 books in 29 days challenge. All the Stars and Teeth. I'm just trying to read my notes for this one and it's making absolutely no sense. It says fantasy, pirates, master of souls, a demonstration goes wrong so she has to flee. And I'm sure when I was writing this down that made sense to me, it just doesn't right now. So I guess I'm excited about this one because it's about pirates and it's YA fantasy. It's also a debut, which I'm also trying to read a lot more of in 2020. It is on here for a reason, it's just I'm not really sure what my notes mean or what the actual synopsis of this book is. I'm sorry. The Gravity of Us, which I do have as a review copy, and by the time this video goes up, I've probably already read it. It's YA contemporary about two teenage boys. Their parents are working for NASA and I think are about to go up into space or are working towards getting people into space. They bond over that. The next one is one that I'm not personally looking forward to, but I think other people will be, and I just wanted to tell everyone that it's finally coming out, and that is The King of Crows by Libba Bray. This is the fourth book in the Diviner series. I've read the first book, but I don't think I'll be continuing on with the series just because I've read recaps that someone submitted for recaptains of books 2 and 3. And it doesn't really sound like my kind of thing anymore. I don't think I'd love it. I'm not personally going to be reading this book, but maybe you guys will want to know that it's coming out. The Unspoken Name, which I received as a review copy. I'm super excited for this one though. It's adult fantasy, LGBTQ, I believe. I think the kind of selling point for this book is that the main character has to turn away from her destiny and also her god in order to become an assassin for a wizard, which is a lot of fantasy elements in just one sentence, but I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, and I'm hoping to read this towards the end of February. The Other Misses, which is an adult thriller. This one sounds so good and I'm so excited for it, so I'm hoping to pick it up very soon. If not for my 29 books challenge, definitely towards the beginning of March so I can do a review of this book. This one is set in a small town in Maine and a family move into a house in the neighbourhood and one of their neighbours is found dead, and I think the new family on the block are kind of blamed for either causing the murder, helping the murder like come about, or actually doing the murder. The Lucky One, which is YA contemporary. I'm expecting this one to be really hard hitting because it's about a main character who recognises the man who kidnapped her as a child. I don't know anything more than that and I won't be looking into it more before I read it. I'm hoping to get to this one soon as well, but February has so many good books coming out and I just don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this one in, but I really want to because it sounds really good. Perfect Little Children. In this one, the main character bumps into her ex-best friend and she spots her children. She hears her ex-best friend call her children by their names, but the two children don't seem to have aged at all since the main character last saw them, which I think was years and years ago. So I think several years have passed and the children haven't aged. So the main character wants to know why the hell not. This one also sounds really intriguing. I've got a review copy of it, so I will hopefully be reading it soon. Rebel Wing, which is science fiction with dragons. So I think the characters get to ride spaceships that are either shaped like dragons or they call them dragons. And the main character is a smuggler and then they become a dragon pilot. This is a YA debut that's coming out in February. Another debut that's coming out in February is The Sound of Stars. I've also got this one as a review copy, so I should have already read it by the time this video goes up. This is science fiction about a main character and an alien who saved the Earth from alien invasion. I'm super excited for this one. This one's actually quite hyped up, so I'm looking forward to reading it. I just really hope I enjoy it because it was kind of a battle to get a review copy of this one, and I feel like if I hate it, the publisher is never going to work with me again. Heart of Flames, which is the sequel to Crown of Feathers. The first book, Crown of Feathers, is about Phoenix Riders. I did start reading this book and I thought it was written so well. It was a debut that came out in 2019, but I got into a fantasy reading slump right in the middle of it and then I got distracted by several other non-fantasy based readathons, so I didn't actually get to finish it, but I am dying to read this sequel, so maybe I will finish Crown of Feathers very soon, I don't know. If you only knew, another YA debut for February. In this one, the main character is released from juvie and he or she falls in love with the child of the prosecutor. It's YA contemporary. I imagine it's going to be quite dark and hard-hitting, at least I hope so, because it sounds it. I think it's got real potential to be really emotional. I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. And then finally there is The Only Child. This one is an adult thriller in which the main character is a psychologist and she discovers some sort of connection between a serial killer and her stepdaughter. I don't really read synopses for thrillers or mystery books because sometimes the synopses give way too much away, so that's all I know about this one, but the concept premise sounds quite good, so I'm looking forward to reading that. It was so difficult to narrow down all the February releases to just 14 books, so I hope this video was quite helpful in letting you know which my most anticipated books are and also which ones you might want to read. There are at least 10 more books coming out in February that I would love to read, but I'm going to wait for some more reviews to come out before I decide. Thank you so much for watching my video. As I said, I do these videos every month. I'm hoping they're quite helpful for people. Do like and subscribe if you like this one, and I'll speak to you all in my next video. Bye!